Basement Bookers Podcast.
What's up? It's your boys, the Basement Bookers Podcast. Basement Jer here, Rich the Riz here with the Riz's Ballers, man. Talking to you today about the NBA, the WWE Draft, which was today, a little while ago, the greatest draft since the last draft.
That's right, Basement Jared. Part one of the draft. We're going to get into all the highlights and lowlights and what the hell is going on. Zzz. That's what we got on tap for you.
Okay, great. Well, let's just move along here, and we're going to talk about that right now. Of course, this year is a special occasion since they took the time to make belts that go with each show. All the champions stay on the shows somewhere, and I have reason to believe this is why Vince McMahon dumped all his stock was because the champions were protected and he voiced a great displeasure in that. Nick Khan also selling his stocks, but I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know.
I saw that on X, all his TKO stock. It's interesting.
I wonder if like maybe a body was dug up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Rich has, of course, the many drafts that occurred, and we're going to talk about them and how they affected the draft, SmackDown, Raw, NXT. There were some surprises. I think maybe like one surprise, really. Like I think everything else, but besides, where people were going, but oh my God, I can't believe this person, and those kind of things, wouldn't you say?
That's right. That's exactly right. So, if we're going to jump straight into it, the first round saw SmackDown claim Bianca Belair and Carmelo Hayes, and Raw picking main event Jey Uso and Seth freaking Rollins.
Wow. Um, well, I guess Becky's definitely safe there on Raw because she's the champion.
Right.
Which congratulations to the new women's champion. Not really surprising to us. Basically called it. She was among the names chosen. I think it was the right thing. I mean, what are you going to do here? You know what I mean? The live hearts can cry. They can cry all day. They can hug their Liv Morgan body pillow. I'm sure they had custom made because there isn't an official one at the WWE shop, as far as I know. I haven't searched. I just don't think that's a thing that they sell at WWE shop. Nonetheless, sorry to all the live hards out there. Get over it. Cry about it. But Becky's not Becky Hogan. Okay, she did her job, and she did what she was asked to do. Okay, I'm pretty sure she didn't say, "Hey, I'd like to be the champion." What she's doing is she's stepping up when the company needs her.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
yes, congratulations to Bianca Belair and Carmelo Hayes, who shot his shot and
Mm-hmm.
he missed. So maybe have a little respect there. But he did take a lot out of Cody's Rhodes'. It was a good competitive match, as they say around the way.
That's right. It was a really good shoe, as they used to say way, way, way back. Actually, before me, believe it or not.
Wow, what an amazing thing you just said. So what do we have round two there, buddy?
Round two, SmackDown picked Randy Orton and Nia Jax, while Raw took Braun Breaker and Liv Morgan herself.
The Nia Jax one is the surprise there. Braun Breaker to Raw. I thought maybe, you know, but hey, I guess they want him on Netflix or something. Who knows? I did hear rumor that Netflix was very upset. This is according to Wrestling Observer newsletter, which also reported sometimes water is cold, sometimes water is hot, sometimes water just right. End quote. That's of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. that finding out that the championships are locked to each shows, they were very disappointed. Netflix was that they didn't get A Town down the chance to have A Town down under
Hmm.
Monday Night Raw because they feel like these young men are the future of professional wrestling. This could be easily a lie, but hey,
Yeah, well, one thing we don't, so we know the champions are locked, but they could lose the titles next week. Spoiler, alert, probably not, since Bianca is staying on Raw, right? So,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Oh, because the Street
Oh,
Profits are facing A Town Down Under next week,
okay, okay.
and it's a title thing. If the title keeps them, then they can then be
But they
traded if they lose titles.
but Raw has their trade first, right?
They do, yes.
So, and the match is on Friday,
The match is next Friday.
but the
There's
Street
gonna
Profits
there's
are
gonna
in the pool.
yeah, there's gonna be supplemental trades and
But
such,
I know,
probably.
but on Monday,
Mhm.
their Street Profits are in the Monday pool.
They are.
They are in
So
the Monday pool.
so my guess is the Street Profits are not gonna win, but I was just kinda just throwing it out there as a possibility that for A Town Down Under 2 be moved to Raw.
Well, it's gonna be a year at least, before, and people move along.
Mhm.
Anyway, the Baron Corbin rule, I'm sure, is not retired, and that no one cares. After a
Right.
few weeks, that it's not gonna matter. So,
Yeah, they said that I think May 6th, the rosters allegedly lock in place.
well, we're gonna have to deal with that, aren't we, when we hit that bridge?
That is correct.
So in the supplemental draft, if you don't make the supplemental draft, then you are future endeavored. I think that's what they say. I don't know. Somebody on the internet told me. But nonetheless, let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Why do they bring the Dudley Boys and Teddy Long and them just to read words
Clicks,
and act like
likes,
they're actually doing something in those rooms? Like, I really want to know what they're talking about in there. Is
they're
it just a
bullshitting.
hangout? I wish I could read
Yeah,
lips. Like,
yeah,
they're probably throwing out curse words, a lot of hard R's in there, a lot of gamer words,
probably
just swearing up a storm.
the hard R's and the Bully Ray one. Um, I feel like they're just bullshitting. They're just hanging out.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit, Michelle McCool was there. Look at
Yeah,
that. That's amazing. Um, but Nia Jax, I thought, wow. So now she's Bailey's problem. Great. Just great.
yeah.
I was, well, she's done all she's had to do. That keeps her
Mhm,
away from Liv Morgan,
mhm.
as we discussed last week.
Therefore, protecting
Nia
Liv's
Jax,
career.
yeah, Liv Morgan's not a threat where there's Nia Jax
Right.
exists. So now Nia
Mhm,
Jax exists in another universe.
mhm.
The problem has been solved. So,
Correct. Because remember,
um,
you only live once.
I mean, depending on your faith, some say you live twice or until you get it right, you know.
Something like
Um,
that.
so what doesn't get right is the next round here, buddy.
That's right. Round 3 saw SmackDown choose L.A. Knight. Yeah. And the bloodline specifying Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman. With, I mean,
It's
if
the
Roman's,
MFT,
yeah,
actually. So,
whatever that is. Roman took himself out of the draft pool, but SmackDown picked the bloodline anyway. No net change here. While
yeah.
Raw picked Ricochet, who, by the way, my pick to be the WWE Speed Champion. I didn't know they were doing a title for that, but cool. And Sheamus.
So which one is going to be more the 24? Which one's going to be more the FTW championship? The Rock's People's Belt or the Speed Champion?
Hmm. At least the speed title is going to be like defended.
I'm gonna go with the Rocks. It's definitely less legit. So,
100%. It's like, hey, we
um,
made a thing for you. Here you go.
yeah, and it's like, is one day someone gonna beat the Rock for that? You know, it's like that BMF title in UFC,
Yeah,
except he didn't beat anybody for it.
right.
The greatest gave it to him.
Indeed. So LA Knight staying on SmackDown.
I
Uh,
predicted that on my
yeah,
draft pool.
yeah. Ricochet staying on Raw with Samantha Irvin, who's staying on Raw. Interesting in the Alicia Taylor, the ring announcer for NXT, in the NXT crowd there. Presumably, everyone there is eligible to be drafted. So announcers, commentators, theoretically, are draftable as well. But make that be a supplemental thing.
Yeah, I can't wait till Booker T is drafted to SmackDown, and we get to hear Corey Graves' reaction to that one.
I can wait for that. I
Okay,
will
great.
pass. So, yeah, Bloodline as is. Like I said, no net change.
Yeah, again, Bloodline's Kevin Owens. It's like, well, that's a thing again. We're gonna do that again.
Hmm.
Okay, great.
Run it
Um,
back.
Look, I gotta say, this Bloodline epilogue. Right now I'm feeling a giant tribal chief sized hole uh in this whole thing.
Hmm.
Tamatonga, he seems like a nice guy. I'm gonna need something. I'm gonna need something. He's obviously very intimidating. He can do the intimidating thing.
Hmm.
Solo Sikoa still hasn't won a match. So, let's keep that going. And yeah, it's gonna
I think he has. No, did he lose a match? He did lose a match this month. I was gonna say he's undefeated in April, but I think he lost a match in April.
undefeated at the buffet table. He's taking it all. So let-
Give me that shrimp.
let's move on to the next
It's tribal shrimp.
round. The tribal shrimp.
Round 4 of the draft. SmackDown chose the phenomenal AJ Styles and El Idolo himself, Andrade, while Raw chose Alpha Academy and Kiana
Of all
James.
factions, you're gonna take Alpha Academy, who apparently the status is still quo there. They're still together,
Hmm.
even after Gable took a dump on them and fired them up, as he would say.
Hmm.
So we'll see how that works out. Um, I can't. Well, I guess it's like you get like a bunch for like a little bit, really, because it's like one unit. So you get the Maxine, Tozawa, Otis,
Yeah.
and
And
Chad Gable. I
and
get.
if
Yeah.
and when Alpha Academy ultimately breaks up, you might have a tag team, a solo in Gable and Maxine. So that's really 3. And if Tozawa and Otis also like do singles, that's 4.
Wow.
So yeah, like you said, a lot for a little.
Yeah, a lot for a little. It's kind of like when you do like these draft pools and stuff, and they like certain characters are worth like less dollars than other ones, so you can get more of the
Hmm.
smaller guys to fill up your whatever. It's like that in the anyway, great. Kiana James is the one that I thought I wasn't expecting her at all. So that's great, I guess. And maybe she will be an actual CEO because I've yet to understand how I guess one does CEO things like I guess has a helicopter Titantron
Hmm.
because that's a CEO thing, right? You get a helicopter
That's right,
and
like a
like
boss,
the
as they
other
say.
one just says she is.
Hmm.
And I don't know, like just because you look like Sasha Banks you think you can just call yourself the CEO or something? Like, I don't understand. I
I
mean,
don't get it.
Sasha Banks should take legal action against this poser.
She really should. That's definitely gimmick infringement, copyright infringement, likeness infringement.
It's identity theft.
Yeah.
If I got to be honest,
Yeah.
like this CEO who's gonna be feuding against Willow Nightingale, who's the new TBS champion. Um, don't you know? Because over at AEW, it was Die Nasty,
Mm,
and briefly, not only it's not just that Swerve Strickland beat Samoa Joe. I thought he should have beat him before, but he beat him again. He beat him when he
mm,
was supposed to.
mm,
And he's the champion now. And Trick Williams is the NXT champion. And what I thought was a spectacular outing.
mm.
It was a callback to Vengeance Day. The finish was
It
this
was.
time Trick hit first.
That's right.
And it was in that moment that Trick became the champion. Now, what if they replace Giovanni Vinci
Mm.
with Ilya Dragunov and Imperium? Because they had Giovanni Vinci. I don't know if you remember this, but Ludwig Kaiser beat him off.
Yep.
And
Saw that.
apparently, Gunter was okay that he beat him off.
Hmm.
He might have sanctioned that beating of off. I don't think he would do it without his permission. Well, he did say he'd take care of it or something. He told him to handle it.
Told him to handle it.
I only say this because, like, if it does happen, it happened in the video game because I had to fight each member of Imperium,
Hmm.
and I thought I was done with them, and they just threw in Ilya Dragunov, like he was helping them for some reason.
So it's not out of the question, but I wonder if Ilya is. In my opinion, Ilya is strong enough to stand on his own on the main roster.
Oh, I know that, and you know that, but sometimes going into a group leads to bigger things. It's like a way to get attention on him. Like, because, as much as like we watch NXT, not everybody, knows,
Hmm.
not everybody understands
Hmm.
what they're seeing there. When you get them in there in like an attraction that's Imperium, and that's gonna, people gonna notice.
Yeah, and just look how Randy Orton's career skyrocketed after he joined the Wyatt family.
Yeah, it went really high. So high that he became the WWE champion again.
That's right.
So
Can't beat that.
exactly. So what back to the draft. Was that it? I think we did it, right?
Yep, that was 4 rounds. I think the surprise was Keanu James, like you said. Um, to we could debate back and forth on the question of readiness and it factor or whatever, but someone saw something, and congratulations to her. Let's see what she can do on the main roster.
Someone saw something
Mm,
is correct. We all saw a lot of things this past week's here on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, respectively.
mhm.
Sheamus was fat shamed by Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
That went down the way it went down.
Mhm.
Liv Morgan, once again, the runner up of all runner ups. Once again, the status quo has been kept.
Mhm.
Becky Lynch, I heard, stay like a half hour after just shaking hands and doing whatever the heck it is that you do.
Mm.
So
I feel like when her pyros went off, she was sort of supposed to be on the stage, but she's like, "Nah, nah, I'm going to the crowd."
yeah, so Dominic's hurt,
Mhm.
and it looks like the Judgment Day might be not Judgment Day for long. It looks like the cracks are starting to show in Team Judgment Day. Wouldn't you
Yep.
say?
I would. Now, this could be an interesting opportunity. Now, believe it or not, I think with Rhea having vacated the championship due to her injury, this would be an interesting opportunity to break Damian Priest out of the Judgment Day because Priest, of course, not eligible to be drafted because he's a champion, but the rest of them can be.
Wow.
So if you move them over to SmackDown, Mommy with them, right? Because keep her and Dominic together and everything. A little bit of change of scenery, see what Priest does on his own. But obviously, we're going to get a little bit of infighting first. I wonder, like, I don't necessarily think that is what is going to happen. It certainly could happen, and
That
I'd
would
be okay
take
with it.
Rhea away from Liv.
That would take Rhea away from Liv.
Because, like, I get that they could change or whatever, but, like, I don't know if I would, like, take that away.
Yeah, you got the built-in storyline there.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see.
Hmm.
Um, maybe they'll do something where they do, like, they'll draft, like, Finn Balor and JD and Dom
Yeah.
because Rhea's injured,
Hmm.
then she probably isn't in the pool. They could do that.
They didn't say whether or not injured or in the pool or anything
Doesn't
like that.
matter.
You're right. Could be Judgment Day, and that would just automatically exclude Damian Priest.
If Roman can take himself out of the pool, can't Rhea Ripley also?
She could. One would argue she has the same sort of clout that Roman does.
So there you go. There's precedent for
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
So you don't have to worry too much about it. Okay. Next, we have really I don't know, honestly. SmackDown was really about the draft and AJ Styles and Cody. It really wasn't much to do there. I'm not interested in what Karrion Cross has to say with his weird girlfriend. You know, it's just not my business, honestly. And regardless of what pain they inflict on people, it can't be worse than the promos that he does. He's just so upset and he's mean, and I get it. You're angry. You're just what else? What can tell me who Carrion Cross is? Carrion Cross. I
Hmm.
want to get to the cross beyond, but below the carrion. I want to get in there. I want to know what makes you you and why you're doing what you're doing, and it can't be an obsession with time and bringing out people's evil by losing to them. I don't get the sacrifice that you're doing here. Maybe you need Joe Gacy. Maybe that's what you need. You need Joe
Mm.
Gacy in your life. That's what you need. You need Joe Gacy in your life.
That
You
could be
could get
interesting. You you
Yeah,
you
just
you do
keep
bring
him
up
in a closet and you could just beat him whenever you feel angry and then just go back and you'll be fine.
isn't there a TV show like that?
I don't know. Is there?
Yeah, something about hostages and this woman that was taken hostage when she was a kid. She's keeping someone hostage so he can help her fight crimes and to save hostages or something like that, kidnappings.
Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. Okay. Well, let's hope they don't do that. I just thought it would be something for him to like, let off some steam, I
Yeah,
guess. I
it
mean,
definitely sounds like a Joe Gacy, Dijak, carrying cross sort of thing. And
they
speaking of
should
carrying
all
cross,
team up.
yeah, you did make an interesting point. I also would like to know what makes carrying cross TikTok,
Not TikTok.
right?
He
No.
breaks baseball bats on TikTok with Brazilian jiu-jitsu or something. It's something to see there. He uses
Oh, I did see
leverage
that.
and
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
what a guy. Definitely don't want to be on the wrong side of that guy. He's like if they wanted to do nails like now, they'll just use him. Just put him in an orange jumper,
Mhm.
and there you go. You're off to the races. DLC, man.
Missed opportunity.
It's a missed opportunity. So Monday, do you expecting any surprises? Do you think anybody possibly from NXT could come up? They have to, right? You got to be something like at least one person from there. I think we're gonna get Dragonov. either on Raw or SmackDown for sure.
Hmm.
Um,
It'd be funny if Braun with Braun drafted to Raw and Corbin is just on NXT. Like, where'd everybody go?
again,
Yeah.
don't you remember? Like nobody picked him, and he was
Hmm.
just nobody wanted him,
Yeah.
like a abandoned puppy. Um,
It'll just be like the last member of NXT.
I wonder who's gonna be the last one. This if it's not him, if there's gonna be somebody just left out, just like, aw, guys,
Yeah.
God,
Mm.
hmm. You
Reminds me of
know,
Bronson Reed. So I'm just still waiting to see something
maybe it
interesting.
is Bronson Reed. It's because they keep calling him Big Bronson Reed, and he's more wide than he is big.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Just not feeling it.
Hey, he's gonna fight for the Intercontinental Championship.
Well, let's go, Sammy.
Everybody's gonna care, okay? Everybody.
Right. Right.
You better care. You better care.
Because he won the
Uh,
Andre brother.
oh, that's right. He did. I forgot. I forgot he did that.
Hmm.
I
So
wouldn't remember if he didn't have the trophy out with him and always stand there like this. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
it is. So speaking of the trophy, you reminded me. I like the new perpetual presentation of all the titles. Anytime there's a title match, the contract signing, it has its own damn pedestal. It is given the visual prestige that it should, as opposed to, all right, here you go. Just hand off to some random person at ringside and hoping they don't run off with it to pocket or something.
Yeah, the WWE Championship is very important, especially all the championships.
Hmm.
As you say, it needs to be treated like the most prestigious prize that it's supposed to be.
Hmm.
Otherwise, why does anybody care?
Right.
It's just the way you have to do it. Something happened, Rich Torres, and I'd be remiss if we didn't discuss this. Perhaps you watched a television program called AEW Dynamite. It's on Wednesdays,
Hmm.
and our worst fear, whether your worst fear has come to light. And what I speculated would happen is that officially Tony Khan is an on-screen character. Because Jungle Jack Perry is back, and he's out there with Tony Khan, and he's like, "Listen, you really, I'm sorry, we should just bury the hatchet." And then, and then no, Jungle Boy hits Tony Khan in the stomach with a microphone, and it just kills him. And then, the VPs come out. The EVPs are like, "No, what are you doing?" And they got him in the thing to do the kicky thing. And then the Meltzer driver, Tony Khan there. And he was even at the draft for the NFL in a neck brace.
Well, if you like AEW, you probably love that. I mean, I don't dislike AEW. I'm not gonna say I dislike AEW. I just haven't had the bandwidth at the moment, and the more I hear about it, the less interested
All you got to do
I
is give your
am.
opinion. You don't need to bury them by saying, "Listen, I don't hate AEW. I just don't have time for this shit," which is what you're doing. All you got to
You're
nobody
right.
asks you that shit. And
You're right.
every time AEW comes up,
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. I do perpetually feel the need to
uh,
provide full clarification. So I'll give less clarification. I feel like that was not the best idea.
okay.
Um,
I just don't think that Tony Khan's Vince McMahon.
it's not
And I know these days that's a great thing for him to hear. Uh, but
facts.
it is what it is. But I just I don't, I was like, really? You doing this? Okay. All right. I mean, this could be something. It's better than doing nothing. And they're trying to do stories, and that's, you know, It's better
Mm,
than any 69-star match. Try to come up with something fascinating to do there. Especially with Adam Cole, you're
baby.
not even around anymore. What happened with that? Is he
Again?
done doing story time or whatever? Yeah, I don't even know what Wardlow is. Like, he's just gone. I don't know.
Balls dropped in the worst way.
That's right, Rich Deriz. We're not talking about the best way. The best way has nothing to do with me. So nonetheless, let's carry on forward, and this is the start of the episode again. Okay, I'm deleting all that because that's too much. That's too much work. That's a lot of work. All of that was deleted. You're never gonna see that. What happened there? It's gone. It's all over, everybody. So this week, Monday and Friday, there will be more of the draft, right? Or is it
Yeah,
just
draft.
Monday? Okay,
Just
so
just
it
Monday.
is a little cold for April. Okay,
It
so
is.
Monday.
Yeah.
Um, look for surprises. Look for Wrestling Observer newsletter to say something like such and such somebody appeared near the vicinity in and or around
Mm-hmm.
and
Arguably, allegedly.
arguably in the area. And you know what I was thinking? Drew McIntyre. What if Drew McIntyre doesn't get drafted? Like, he's the guy that's just like Will Smith in final episode of Fresh Prince. He's just hands in his pockets, just looking around.
Blaming
and
everybody.
Drew
It's
and
your fault.
Drew, yeah, and Drew being the master of social media, he will Photoshop his face onto that. He will just do that himself.
Yeah. It'd be great.
Or you know what? CM Punk could do it to fuck with him. He can just put the meme up for him.
There you go. This
Oh,
is
CM Punk in the pool? Oh, CM Punk's got to be in the pool.
well, if Free is not, Punk's not.
That's, well, Punk's not injured anymore.
Mm, true. Is he cleared? He's not injured, but is he
I
cleared?
think that we're going to find out
We'll
this
just have to
Monday
tune in.
night on Raw. So I speculate CM Punkarelli is probably going to be the number one draft pick
Mm,
because it wouldn't make any sense for him not to be.
right.
Because, like, who else could you think of could be a number one draft pick for Monday Night Raw, right? Like, nobody. That's like Gunter's not even the champion anymore. But I guess if he could be a number one draft pick, I guess. But like
So
whoever the no,
yeah, Imperium would be eligible. I guess that wouldn't include Vinci.
yeah, since he's out now, we'll see about that. It's a shame what happened to him.
Hmm.
But look, you can't keep taking L's and not pay. Well, losing has consequences in Imperium as well as the Bloodline.
That's right.
So, nonetheless, we will persevere. Rich, why do you think Nick Khan sold all those stocks?
Could be, unfortunately, a whole lot of different reasons. We're going to have to keep our eye on the situation, listen for upcoming news, and whatever we find out. If you didn't hear it before us, before we told you, we'll tell you.
Vince sold all of his. That means he's out, out.
Mm-hmm.
What if he
Oh,
comes back to wrestling? What if he like makes a like he just starts from nothing and just like comes up with a new promotion? I heard Global Force Gold is back. Is he
oh,
teamed up with with Global Force Wrestling? Remember that? That was going to be a thing. We would talk about that. You would report on that when we had the news segment.
I do.
Every week there was something with that.
It was a thing. That was a
We thought it
fun
would be
time.
what AEW was gonna be. Like we thought like there's gonna be this new thing. It's like
It
what channel is it gonna be on?
it
Who are they
had
gonna
all it really had all the potential until Jeff Jarrett tried selling gold in a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, and he kept trying to do money or nothing with us, and I just didn't think he's gonna be able to give us the money. Something didn't feel right.
Mhm.
It was he was leaning more towards the nothing part of money
Mhm.
or nothing,
Yeah.
and really, it might be that he gave us money because he didn't give us money because we had nothing. But I don't know, honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
I felt like when we were going into these talks with him that, given that the show is called Money or Nothing, that one of us would have had some money to bring to the table since you and I were clearly bringing the nothing to the table, but apparently he also had the nothing and thought we had the
and
money.
now look at him. Now look at him. Now he's working for somebody else. Not like us. We're our own bosses.
That's right.
Okay. Uh,
We do what
so
we want.
that's right. And that's boy, isn't that something, Rich Torres? That is something to behold.
Mhm.
But yeah, I really don't think I don't think the old man's ever coming back to wrestling. I don't agree with Tony Khan saying that WWE is the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling. I don't know what that means. I don't know why he would say something so gross and uncouth when he employs Max Caster, and that boy needs his mouth washed out with soap.
And
Okay.
Sammy Guevara.
Well, you know what? Sammy Guevara is just a dumb kid. Um,
True.
and now I hope now that he's a father, that he changes his attitude,
Mhm.
or else it will be changed for him.
Right.
That is not a threat. That is life. That is what's going to happen to you. That is what your wife will do to you.
She is from Brazil, and Brazil is not quite a safe place for non-Brazilians.
That's right, Rich Torres. And excited. I'm as excited as you are for Backlash. But nonetheless, in the meantime, before that time, Rich Torres, I think it's time to get out of here and tell everybody patreon.com/basement bookers pod. And of course, all the socials will be below. So Rich doesn't have to repeat this because he does that all the time and it makes me upset.
I do.
So I did.
I That's right. I do sometimes just default to my normal line, but I am not going to do that since you said all of that already. Just got a party message for you.
Rich is bald. The match of life schedule for one fall. Make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the bookers. Happy Money or Nothing anniversary, everybody.